How much easier would it be for you to tackle your to-do list, errands, and chores if every day that you woke up, you had the energy of a kid on a playground? How much more productive would you be if you had the mental alertness of the guy in Limitless? And how would all this change in your life and what you're accomplishing affect how you feel about yourself? Well, the good news is that there's just one simple thing that you need to do in order to reap all these benefits. And that thing is intermittent fasting. But look, before we go any further, I want to tell you why I know that intermittent fasting will turbo boost the performance of really your body and brain, like a Lamborghini. When I was 21 years old, I was stabbed in the arm, chest, and throat with a chef knife while at a movie theater. And I was left on the floor to die. But instead, I woke up 7 days later from an induced coma. I was living off tubes though. Like if you unplug those tubes, you literally unplugged my life. And while I was grateful to be alive, it felt like I had lost all sense of who I was. My energy was depleted like a lake in the summer. In fact, I remember I couldn't even finish eating a meal because I'd get so tired that I'd have to nap halfway through. And I couldn't joke around with my friends too much because really, it felt like my mind was just clouded. In fact, doing a simple equation like 11 times 11, it burnt through my mental fortitude. It kind of just felt like, it was almost like something didn't click in my brain or that it wasn't firing on all cylinders. But even worse than that, my confidence disappeared like a quarter in a magic show, and my head was plagued with negative thoughts and self-doubt. I was left asking myself, am I ever going to get back to a normal state where I feel good? Can I still feel hopeful for the future? Or am I really just going to be destined for a life of mediocrity? Now, once these thoughts started popping up in my head, I started contemplating them for the next few weeks, and ultimately, I decided that I wasn't gonna let my life rot away like this. That's when I started studying the secrets of evolution, biology, and psychology that enabled me to build myself up again. Simply put, I discovered how to forge boundless energy, boost our mental clarity, and attain an elevated mood, where I simply took on life in a fun-loving attitude. I applied all of this ancient wisdom to my life, and the results, they were unreal. Every day I woke up, I was more happy, more confident, and more capable than the day before. In fact, I got to a new level of energy and brain power that I never had before. It was erupting out of me like a volcano. And when I got to this point, my life, it started to come together because my brain and body enabled me to be productive every day, instead of battling procrastination or low energy, all those things that tampered my ability to hit my goals in life. And not only that, my social life grew because I was simply in a better mood instead of being grumpy and irritable, which no one likes to be around, you know? I mean, who goes, oh, that guy's grumpy, let me go hang out with him? No one says that. We love to be around people that are happy. Now, the reality is that I did apply more than intermittent fasting to my life, but we're gonna start with it because it doesn't require a lot of input from you on your end, and you get a lot of results. It's a lot of bang for buck. I mean, this one easy switch in your life, it'll really enable you to think more clearly and boost your focus. And not only that, it's gonna help you trim fat effortlessly, which will grant you more energy. Because think about it. Imagine if you carried around a 15-pound bowling ball with you for an entire day. How much more energy would that require for you to simply walk around? A lot more, right? Well, carrying extra body fat is no different. It requires more energy to do any physical task. So I know right now you're probably thinking, okay, Adam, let's get into it. How do I correctly do intermittent fasting so I get these insane benefits that you are talking about. And it's pretty simple. Basically, what you want to do is you want to only eat or drink anything that isn't water or coffee in an 8-hour time frame. Now, basically, or for example, what most people do when they do intermittent fasting, and what I personally do, is they just skip breakfast and don't eat till like 11 or 12 or something like that. Which means my timer for when I start eating begins at 11 through 7. That's an 8-hour gap. So from 11 to 7, you can eat whatever food that you normally eat. And that's what I love about intermittent fasting, because there's no dietary restrictions. You eat the same food, you're just eating it within a certain time frame, or really compressing it down to 8 hours. Now granted, it's okay if you do 9 or 10 hours, but 8 is optimal for benefits. Now after 7 p.m., I don't eat any food and I don't drink anything that isn't water, because that's gonna break my fast and thus disrupt all my benefits. Now, one thing I want to mention is that when you first start implementing intermittent fasting, it might become more of a mental game, because your brain's likely going to trick you into really thinking you're hungry. I mean, when I first started implementing intermittent fasting, I thought I was hungry around like 8 a.m. because that's when I used to eat. But then I remember one time I got distracted for like a few hours and I was like, wait, I thought I was hungry. And that's when it dawned on me. I wasn't actually hungry at 8 a.m. because I forgot that I was hungry. And if you're actually hungry, you don't forget that you're hungry. You're starved. You're like, I need to go eat. I'm grumpy. I'm irritable, you know? So the moral of the story is that if you have the urge to eat before your 8-hour time gap begins, you might just want to distract yourself, or just know that it's a mind trick really, and that you just have to power through. Because I promise you that if you do intermittent fasting for 1 to 2 weeks, you'll feel more clear-headed, have more energy and vitality. There we go. Vitality? You'll essentially feel, look, and think better than you ever have. Now, look, if you made it this far in the video, I'd love to officially have you join the new era of health empire. We're a community of conquerors who refuse to live a mediocre life. So you can do that by tossing this video a like, and please make sure to subscribe. Now lastly, I want to meet you, so what I want you to do is drop a comment below and introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself, whether that's an ambition that you have, or just something interesting that you like doing, or something about you, or something that you do that really brings you joy. I love meeting every single one of you conquerors in this empire. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.